Hey there everyone, I am going to show you a quick demo on how to play green globs with parabolas. This is the novice game. There are no equation busters. Those are open circles that will stop the equation that you have to avoid. This is the simple one. Alright, we're using parabolas. This is the basic equation for a parabola. Oops, I've got an extra minus sign in there which I do not want. This is vertex form. What these three letters, A, H, and K, are like control knobs that will position any parabola basically anywhere. So X is with this H. H is for horizontal shift. That's a good way to remember that. So when we plug in like X minus 3, it's going to horizontally shift our parabola 3 units to the right. If I put in a plus 5, it'll shift it to the left. It's always the opposite when it's in these parentheses because it's all about when is that equal to 0. The K is the vertical shift. I don't know why they don't use V, but they don't. It's up and down, and it's just normal because there's no parentheses around it. It's not the opposite. This A, think in camera lingo, A is for aperture. It's how open your lens is going to be, and it's how open the parabola is. If the A number is more than 1, it makes it narrower. If it's less than 1, a fraction, that's going to get closer to 0 as it gets more and more open. And then a negative sign, like I had just a moment ago, that will flip it down. Okay? So to play the game, we can get a parabola to go through just about any 3 points with just a little bit of effort. So for instance, if I was going to make a parabola go through these 3 points, that would be quite easy. I'd make the vertex here. I'd make it flip down. Going over 1 and down 1 is quite easy. So I could simply say, well, that's going to be a negative 1. So I could type in negative 1. H is going to be where the horizontal shift is. And if I'm going to put the vertex there, that's negative 5, negative 6. So I could do parentheses and then negative 6, close parentheses. I'm just plugging in negative 6 for my H. Now, in the real world, we often take out the double negatives. We'd make it x plus 6, like I talked about a moment ago. But you can do it like this if you want, especially when you're playing this game. And then I'm moving it down, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So I could replace this with negative 3 and put parentheses around that. And you'll see if I hit enter, there it is. Okay, kills off 3 of the green globs. But if I want to do a little bit more than that, because this is all about getting as many as you possibly can, let's be super fancy, all right? So pause this film, see if you can spot a parabola that will get you at least 4, maybe 5, maybe more, who knows, all right? So pause me and look for a better parabola. Pause. Okay, you're back. Hopefully you found one. I've got one that I think might work. I see these 2 green globs at the same level, and I can split the difference, and I'm right on this line, this x equals 6 line. So if I put the parabola's vertex right there and have it open up wide, I'm going to get those 3 for sure. And then as it comes down here, who knows, maybe I can get a bunch in this cluster down here. All right? So if I put down my general form, and I put the vertex at positive 6 here, so I'm going to make this H be the opposite of positive 6, negative 6. If I want to shift it up to 7, I'm going to go out here and make that be 7. The question is, what should my A number be? All right? Well, here's where the really good skills come in. I know it's going to open way up, and I want to get it to come through one of these points here. Suppose I pick this farthest point right here. That's negative 7, negative 5. If I plug in that point, okay, into my x and my y, negative 7, negative, no, actually, you know what? I'm going to do negative 6, negative 3. Negative 6, negative 3. Yep. I'm going to aim for that point, because if I can get that point, maybe I'll clip the top of this. All right, so negative 6, negative 3, and that should be negative 3 then. I can then, whoops, my vertex, I'm messed up. Ignore that. That is still going to be plus 7. But what I'm doing is I'm substituting in place of my x value, parentheses, I'm going to just put in negative 6 because that is my x value of the point I'm plugging in. My y value here, that's the one that's going to be down 3, negative 3. Okay, just to repeat, I'm replacing the x and the y values for the point I want my parabola to go through, and then I'm going to solve for that a point. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that negative because I'm just going to solve for a. All right, so I am able to pause this and come back. Here I am. I've done some of the math. You'll notice up here is the point, negative 6, negative 3. I substituted in just like I did before. Negative 6 equals, and then there's the minus 6 for the point I'm plugging in. There's the minus 6 for the shifting the original vertex, and there's the plus 7. I do the math. I get negative 12. I square that. I get a positive 144. My minus 3 and my 7, I work with them. I take the 7 over to the minus 3 side. Subtracting 7 away from negative 3 gives me negative 10. I divide both sides by 144. So my a value is negative 10 divided by 144. I don't need to type a decimal. I just need to go here and do negative 10 divided by 144. Okay? And that should be good. Keep your fingers crossed. Here we go. Oops, use a y equals. I do not want those. I want to go back to variables once I've got my x values in there. That's a bit silly. I'm going too fast here. But yeah, I need it to be x minus 6, and then I need it to be y. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness, got 3 already. 4, 5, 6. That is one good turn. 63 points. That's about as good as you can do. Okay? So if I'm going to try to write another parabola to get 3, I could have it come down here maybe and get these 3. And then I have 2 more lines that will let me kill off these points and those points. So I definitely could kill off all these globs with 2 parabolas and 2 lines, even if it took a really good shot to do it in the beginning. All right, good luck.